So at the end of last year, we saw multiple Idaho public universities close or restructure their diversity, equity, and inclusion offices and programs. They did so in anticipation of potential legislation that would happen this year, and because the Idaho State Board of Education was planning to pass a resolution that would ban DEI offices on college campuses. Boise State did it, Idaho State University did it. They all closed their offices before the resolution passed in December. University of Idaho, though, they planned to do the same, but waited until the resolution passed to do the same. Now, with campuses having already shut those offices down or restructured them, would Idaho lawmakers try and pass laws on DEI in higher education, or would new laws be focused on DEI in different areas? That was a topic brought up today in a hearing, and Aspen Shumpert was there to talk about this DEI task force. And you kind of got an idea what at least one lawmaker, was thinking about this whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note we won't really know until session starts and we get an idea of what people want to propose. Today, we did hear an idea, and we're going to stick with DEI in higher education. Senator Bill Toews, who also sits on the state's DEI task force, is showing support for the State Board of Education's resolution that passed in December by today sharing with his fellow committee members a bill that would essentially do the same thing.
Institution of higher education in the state of Idaho, or any employee, appointee, or committee acting on behalf of an institution of higher education shall A, establish, sustain, support, or staff a diversity, equity, and inclusion office or department, nor hire an individual to serve as a diversity, equity, and inclusion officer, nor contract, employ, engage, or hire an individual to serve as a diversity, equity, and inclusion officer or consultant.
In addition to banning DEI centers on college campuses, Senator Ben Toews says the bill would also not require students to take any DEI-related courses. He also says the bill would allow for any funds that were supposed to go to DEI centers and officers on college campuses for fiscal year 2026 could be used for scholarships to reduce the cost of tuition for in-state students. Now, Senator Melissa Wintrow, who also sits on the committee, did push back on the bill's intent, specifically bothered about the time and money that's been spent on this issue.
As I would rather, I think, focus on more bread and butter issues to help students through college. So I'm going to scrutinize this a little bit more later, but big picture, just troubled that we're down this path again and not, talking about the real needs that the students have.
So what comes next is this exec committee is going to talk about this introduction a little bit more and give Toews a little bit of feedback on the language, and then essentially would recommend what he would then take to a different committee to formally introduce the bill.
Okay, I know there's a little bit of support behind this, but we're also hearing from people who are tired of the fact that these culture wars are continuing and being the focus of the beginning of another legislative session.
Yeah, and there could be more to come. There could be more DEI bills introduced. I think that's something we'll have to watch.
All right, if the resolution by the state board isn't enough, I guess. All right, thank you very much, Aspen.